Yeah. Hi, folks. Welcome back. So the first video we tried to understand what are we going to explore and why it's important or why we really need to care about, right? Okay. Hope that made some sense to you. And yeah, we are to the second step now. So what the heck are build tools? Okay. Yeah, it's I'm expecting you all got this question at the start even, right? So what are build tools? Why is he talking about? Okay, when we like most of you would be spending your time exploring some technologies like React.js, Node.js, or Vue.js. You'll be busy in those things, right? So why should I really care about a build tool? Okay, and is it that interesting? Yeah, that's what we are trying to understand in this series of videos. So what the heck are build tools? Before going into what are build tools, let's take a simple instance. Okay, let's forget about all these things. Okay, don't look at the screen now. Look at me. Like, tell me, like, what are the things you will take care of when we work on a project? Okay, collaboratively, not as a single person. You are working with a group of people. Okay, it can be in your company or it can be your dream open source project or it can be your own startup or something. Okay, so what are the things you will take care of when you work collaboratively and when it comes to code? Okay, you can work with any frameworks. Okay, so few things which that comes to my mind immediately is the first thing is web apps performance. Okay, I'm talking about web apps in general. So you'll care more about how performant the web app is, right? You'll care about the web app's performance. How can you make it performant enough? Then the second thing is you'll care about user experience, right? So you'll think how can we provide first class user experience, okay, in our apps? Well, yeah, but there is a one missing factor that even companies miss, which I feel like even companies miss to take a note, okay, at least at the initial stages. What is that developer experience? Okay, just like user experience, just like performance. Okay, we that is an important factor. Okay, we strive to miss. Okay, that is developer experience. So what I mean by developer experience, you'll make your web apps friendly and performant to the end users, but are you making it friendlier enough for your team who is developing it? Okay, why is it important? If it's friendlier enough, okay, it's easy to grasp, it's easy to explore that part. Okay, say for example, I'm joining your project new. Okay, it should not cost me a lot to get comfortable with the code base, right? So that's very important. Here is where modularity comes into picture. Okay, so it becomes it's almost it's almost a default thing to write modular code, right? So nowadays, if you take any framework, you can also like go and explore Vue.js GitHub code base. So if you take any large code base, the first thing you have to take care of is writing code in a modular way. Okay, but then if you take older browsers, right? So older browsers, it didn't support the modular patterns natively, okay, in older days. So that's the reason we are using things like build tools. Okay, here is where the build tools comes into picture. So how things used to work is like I'll show you. Actually, like I have a two-part article written on this, okay, which I'll share these links in the description, and I have some notes also which I will provide you also. Okay, so this is the question, like why do we need bundlers? Okay, so what happened is that in older days, our browsers didn't support modules natively. Okay, modular code yeah, there is no support like JS module. Now you have something like JavaScript modules. Okay, I'll show you that. Like there is something called as JavaScript modules which you can write now. Okay, but in olden days, which we didn't have such things in supported by browsers natively. Okay, even now if you take a look at the browser support, it's above Chrome that 61. It's pretty decent, but in olden days we didn't have, okay, older version of browsers. So what we have done is like that we introduced something like common JS, AMD, or require.js or core.js. Okay, if you are from a React background, you might have noticed, I'll show you that in code, but if you are from a React or Vue.js background, or if you have used any popular library like Ember.js, AngularJS, like definitely you should have like notice something like CommonJS, AMD, or Core.js. So what are these? These are modular standard for writing application. Okay, so these are like standards for writing modular code. Okay. So if you are from a Node.js background, definitely you should have like you should have come across this word called CommonJS. Okay, it's that Node ecosystem is heavily influenced by CommonJS modular pattern. Basically, it's like writing a modular, writing codes as modules. Okay, in such a way like you'll write a module and you can use it anywhere. Like you'll import it and use it anywhere. Okay, just like any popular frameworks nowadays, right? So that's how. But those things can't run in browser natively. Okay, in olden days. So that's the reason we choose tools like Webpack, Parcel, or Browserify, okay, or any build tools which you would have used, right? So what those build tools used to do is that they take all those module chunks, okay, whichever you write, they take all these module chunks and compile it like into a single large file that can run in the browser. Okay, so that's the job of build tools actually. Okay, so now so leave all those things. Like what are build tools means? Build tools are um, uh, it's a tooling, okay, that helps to compile all the modules into a single JS chunk, okay, that can run natively in the browser. Okay, why do we need those build tools before? Because we didn't have support for running those modules natively in older browsers. Okay, but that's not the case with like with new browsers now. Okay, here is where Vite comes into picture. We'll get into those details later, but for now, what are build tools means? Yeah, that's it, right? So we adapted certain standards like CommonJS, Record.js, AMD to write code in a modular way so that it's very developer friendly and it provides first class developer experience. Okay, so that when development speeds up, execution speeds up, and will be able to deliver more. Okay, when a company is able to deliver more on a product, like it gradually increases user satisfaction also, right? The more we deliver, the more revenue we generate, and more user experience, like more user satisfaction we derive, user what to say, like the more sales. So that's how any product cycle goes on, right? So it plays a major role. And in older days, we didn't have support for such modular standards natively in browser. And that's the reason why I'm repeating these things again and again, is that this is very important. This is the soul of what are build tools. Okay, if you didn't understand this, there is no meaning, sorry for the song, there is no meaning in talking about Vite.js or Webpack or anything. Okay, yeah. So hope you got what are build tools. So in the next video, we'll explore the journey of Vite so far. And yeah, we'll get into the code soon. Until then, yeah, thank you.